So thank you very much for your business. It was a pleasure meeting you all today. A couple of things. One is that this is the unedited version. It's unlisted, so YouTube has a listing service, so you can either click on list or unlist. So I don't want it to be seen by the general public, not least because it would be extremely boring for anyone that wasn't involved with it. But I don't have control over what YouTube do, but I can see if the number of people that see it. So, it should be fine, but I'm not YouTube. So if you can send the data logger, the updates from the data logger, and within the survey, I should show you how to do that. And if you can send that, not this weekend, but the following weekend, so 22nd, 23rd of March. If you don't do it, then please do it as soon as possible. I do everything in order and I wait for the data loggers to come through. So obviously it will delay it if you don't. It's better to send it earlier than later. The other thing is, then the final report will be, so I'm going to send a link with information with this report. That's in draft form, so I may change the wording, but it will be as an email attachment, and then within the details within the YouTube, which will be sent so that anyone can read it and understand it, or listen to it, should I say, and understand it. The details will contain links through to recommendations, but it's primarily in the video. So have a look now. I'm sorry if it rambles a bit.
So when we moved in, this was an older kitchen. I would have said 80s or 90s, and there were wall units all there. So we didn't really have visibility over what was happening.
Do you think this was part of the original building, or was it?
This is actually what helped us win that case. This was a stable wall. So this bit here with that wall was a stable, and that meant it was deemed to have had vehicle access at the time. So that's what gave us the right of way with the vehicle, which meant that you couldn't use it the way it was. Anyway, so when we moved in, there was wall cupboards on there, so we couldn't really see it. When we stripped that off, it was like dark, but it wasn't blistered like this. We got these doors put in. Oh, before that as well, we had a dog flap and cat flap combined there. So there was probably more ventilation. When we got these put in, we also got that done, and then soon after that, but I'm not quite sure what the time gap was, we then got the kitchen done. Because I think we were waiting on the kitchen. We were waiting on doing this.
So I remember you saying you've been here eight years?
Yeah. So this was probably maybe 2 years ago.
Okay.
But pretty much as soon as we decorated, in fact, it wasn't even as long as that. Pretty much as soon as we did it, we saw this was getting damp, and then we got the kitchen redecorated and replastered that, and it's just come through again now. Okay. The people who've done so, this part of the roof was redone when the roof blew off and we had the storm. There was a storm. We had a new roof on the main roof. This was redone then, and the people, because we'd stripped off the wall cabinets and you could see revealed stuff happening up here once it was redecorated. Even after it was redecorated, we thought it must be I don't really know, but I figured it looks like it must be coming from the roof. But they came and had a look, and they couldn't see anything coming in. It looks watertight. So we just don't know where all the moisture that's obviously in that wall is coming from. Is it coming from above and down? Is it coming in? Is it coming up? We just well, obviously I'm going to have a good look. But when you have mould, you've got high surface relative humidity, which is a function of vapour and temperature. So vapour is a factor. Whether you've also got penetrating damp, or potentially even what's called interstitial condensation, where you get condensation that forms within a building material, so such as within the roof section. So I'll have a look at that to better understand it. But do you have... Because this feels like it's like a lot. right?
Yeah.
For that to be doing that in the time frame that it's done it, it feels like there must be quite a lot in there.
But that could come from inside as well as outside. So what you're seeing there, these are calcium sulfate salts that are blistering through.
Right.
So calcium sulfate, the old name for it was gypsum.
Right.
So, that's modern plaster is often called gypsum.
Right.
Finishing plasterers anyway. And the reason why is that it's the primary ingredient in gypsum. So calcium sulfate, just like normal salt, when it dries out, it crystallizes, and the process of crystallization expands the space underneath and blisters the wall.
Right.
So it is actually benign. It's not a structural defect per se. It's just crystal salts, just like as if they were sodium chloride salt, sea salt. They're splintering behind. But so I'm not so worried about that. But I do see slight brown stains, and obviously I'm seeing a brown stain up there.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, I'm seeing brown stain. And when you've got a brown stain, it's because that water's passing through building material, and it's picking up the pigmentation from the brick or timber.
Right. Even there, you can see that that's gone green because there's obviously
Water's
moisture
getting in behind.
there.
Yeah.
And then this, Alex, do you remember when the kitchen was done? Or the roof? The roof? The roof out here?
Yeah, we've had that done recently.
It was before the kitchen, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We had the roof done, and then we were waiting for the.
And we had we've had the roofer back to even have a look at this, didn't we? Maybe it was like 2 or 3 years ago.
I said 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
I'll show you something in a sec with the thermal imaging camera, although the sun coming from over there, so this is south facing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it should help. But have you guys had a chance to get data loggers?
They are upstairs, they've arrived. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just so you know, oh look at that.
As you see, the mould is growing exactly where the cold zones are,
Yeah.
because it's a product of both high surface relative humidity, depends on vapour, and heat loss.
Right.
Wow. It's there. Hang on, let me let the dog out.
It's mad that there's nothing on this side though as well.
They're probably
Well, look at the
different
temperature
cracks.
there. So that's going down to 11 point something,
Wow.
and then this is 16 point something.
So it's like 5 degrees difference.
So every 1 degree centigrade increases relative humidity by about 5%.
Wow.
So if there's 25% relative humidity. So you may have like 60% relative humidity here, and you think, oh, that's fine. But add 25% relative humidity, you get to 85%, and that's the magic number where mould starts to grow. It starts to grow at 85% relative humidity.
Right. Because I'm not sure that's a proper wall, if you know what I mean.
Well, it's an old stable wall, isn't it?
Oh, there you go. So it's like a single tile, a single
That's what I said.
brickwork. Oh, okay, fine.
But I would use insulation actually. So
What
what's your?
insulation boards?
I'll show you something that's so it's quite expensive.
Yeah.
It's but relative to, it's like £100 for probably the insulation. Maybe you might need 2 sheets of it, and that's basically £100 a sheet. But you'd obviously have to get somebody to then.
Install them.
Yeah, but I'll
Is
show
it like
you.
wallpaper that you roll on?
You can do, but I'd probably go the next level just because it looks really like you're getting a lot of heat loss there, because it's an
okay.
old stable.
Bit
So
away, and then
behind
do it all the way-
behind this is the same because you've looked behind it, or you're just
Well, no,
guessing.
because but
Oh, I see,
because
in terms of
because this
the
is
wall.
new,
This is
and it just
put
used to
on.
be wall, and there used to be tiles, and there used to be tiles here as well.
Yeah.
And they had a cupboard unit there, and I think it was just to hide the wall actually. But so we haven't done anything to the wall behind it.
So what I say is I haven't looked on the outside yet.
Okay.
And it's quite possible that you're getting penetrating damp as well
when
as
you
the
see
mold.
it, there's like old things that have been screwed into it. There's wooden trellises that have rotted.
Well, I'll have a look at it, but all I'm saying is that if there's something on the outside, that's causing water to come through, what will happen is you'll get moisture in behind here,
Mm.
and then that will then it will seep in through here,
Like here.
and you can see the water's coming through. But that water could just as easily be condensation.
Okay.
So one of the reasons that a lot of people get rising damp wrong is because if you've got a solid floor, then water can't be absorbed into a floor. So if you get condensation on a solid surface like this granite or worktop, then the moisture won't be absorbed by the surface, but it will go into the base of the wall, and it will amplify the effects of condensation.
Right.
So you just as easily get it along there.
Right.
So that could be internal, it could be external, but
Right.
I'll have a look at the outside.
Oh,
and,
interesting. Cool.
yeah.
Okay, thank you. Fascinating, isn't it?
A little doggy.
It's nice to not have to and ah about it and just get a definitive answer.
Well,
Have you had a few people around?
Well, we had damp proofing done, didn't we? We had some damp proofing done, and we also had it done under that window in the dining room. They did damp proofing there. They did damp proofing there. This was before, and
I have to say, you're not like me for saying this, but damp proofing increases the risk of damp and mould, because the reason why is for two reasons. Well, three if you could. So the reason why is, one is because what they're doing is they replace a normal absorbent wall with an impermeable surface, a bit like this.
Yeah.
So it won't absorb moisture.
Right.
So it reduces the capacity for the wall to buffer the effects of vapour.
Right.
It's a bit like blowing into a plastic bag. You'll see condensation forming around the plastic bag, whereas if you blow into a paper bag, you don't see the condensation because it's absorbing.
Into the paper.
So it's like sort of reducing your lung capacity.
Okay.
So you're not breathing as much. And then second thing is, what they're doing is they're removing all the tiny pores in the plaster in order to stop it from showing, from water to showing, and that then reduces the insulation of the plaster, so you get greater heat loss and greater risk of condensation.
So you solve one problem caused another.
You're not solving.
You're disguising it, aren't you?
Well, you wouldn't have rising damp for three reasons. One is you're in London and they pump out the groundwater.
Yeah.
Two, because I had a look beforehand and I could see that you're in an area that doesn't have groundwater, and rising damp comes from groundwater.
Okay.
Every form of damp will creep in every direction, but rising damp comes from groundwater. And the third reason is because I can't remember what the third reason is. You're on top of the hill. That was the word.
Yay!
That was it. You're on top of a hill, so you would never have it on top of a hill.
It just goes down, the water drains away.
Unless we're sitting on top of an artesian well.
Right, okay.
And then
we are.
And then you would have a nice little cafe around it, and so.
It wouldn't be here. Okay.
You'd call yourself a spa.
Yeah, there you go.
There is a spa hill though, isn't there?
There is a spa hill.
Well, Wells Park is called Wells Park because it's got lots of springs that come through it.
Interesting.
In the sort of mid 19th century, people used to come to get away from smoggy London.
Yeah, they used to come to the top of Crystal Palace as well to get away from the
Well, it's all part of the same.
Yeah, isn't that
same
funny?
thing, yeah.
It's nice. It's nice. The air is clean.
Yeah. Where are you guys going to, or have you decided yet?
Not yet.
Not
Not
sure
decided yet. Yeah. It's difficult, isn't it? You want to get out. You just want to get away.
Have you got a little one then?
Yeah, 5-year-old.
5.
Yeah.
Just the one, or?
Just the one. She's an IVF baby.
She's one
We
and
would
a
have
half,
had more if more had happened and been able to happen, but she was on. It took a lot to get her, and
We did the same thing.
Did you? IVF. Yeah. Did you? Yeah. You got one or?
One.
Yeah. Good.
My sister has 2 from IVF twins.
Really? Oh wow.
Yeah.
How old is your child now?
He's 21 nearly soon.
Wow.
I know, that's what happens to them.
I know. Oh my
I know.
goodness,
they grow up and get attitudes.
Oh, Jessie's already got
Yeah.
attitude, to be fair, so it's going to get even worse when she's older, Lord help us.
Okay, anyway, I'll deal with this and I'll look at the outside and we'll get the data loggers going now, actually. That's
Yeah,
the first
perfect.
thing.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, well, you're not talking about individual landlords.
Not really, no. Well, I mean, a lot of buyers are individual landlords, but
Okay.
they're usually off developments that they're trying to sell 25% to investors at early stages. So it's slower for them, but it's harder for them.
There's quite a niche market to be in there.
It's quite niche. I mean, there's more of them than you'd realise, and we also do like off-planet internationally. So
You can just use that to get pickups. It's called Sensor Blue. So you just look up it'll give it to you. That's that one. Yeah. So
that's Apple.
that's right. It comes to the same thing, I think. Oh, why is it?
Play Store's the right one. There you go.
So it takes a bit of time. I'll video it and then you can refer back to it if you need to. So add device and pair device. Now there'll be I've obviously got two others. So if you just press each one of those in turn, and we'll make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that one. Oh, actually, I think that's my one that's making the noise.
Oh,
That's right. That's fine. That's fine. And device again. Done. And another one. Oh, there's
two more.
I've obviously got some in my bag. Oh no, maybe you've had all of them on. I mean, if there's 4.
There was 4 there, wasn't there? Okay, 4 done.
Okay. So we'll just leave them like that for half an hour or so.
Okay.
And the idea is to calibrate them so that they'll match each other. Something. Sorry. It's actually quite dry now, but it gets damper down here. That's damp there. That's staining. Oh, it's all the way up. So that's a sign of penetrating damp. That's staining there. Yeah. I'll have a look at the outside there. It's probably all to do with the same thing.
It's all the same wall, isn't it?
It's all the same thing.
Two panes, it's kind of like
Yeah, but it doesn't cause dampness per se, but
it just looks bad.
I mean, so double glazing is obviously great for lots of different reasons, not least sound insulation, but it does reduce the airflow. You don't have triple vents in these ones.
No, we don't.
And your bathroom does smells humid. So even though you may not be getting the damp and condensation issues from the showing in the bathroom, the vapour may be coming from the bathroom.
Do you know where it does go? Do you remember when we had this? It was in the wardrobe.
Oh yeah.
Remember in the corner?
Yeah.
So that'll be the same thing.
So it will be like in the corner, and we had to put like the hanging damp extractor thingies in there.
They don't do. I mean, they go in the right direction, but they don't take enough humidity. Are you just about to dash out to pick up?
Yeah, I've got to go
something?
to work. I've got to go and teach in Clapham Junction, so I've got to leave and get the train.
Is that adult educational?
No, Reformer Pilates. So all those machines out there, I teach like, so it's like movement with machines and stuff. It's like rehabby.
for adults or children?
Yeah, adults. Yeah.
Oh, and that's yours, is it?
Yeah, the Reformer Studio. On those machines.
Is that what you call it? The Reformer? Is that your
Reformer
business?
Pilates, yeah.
Reformer Pilates.
Yeah.
Is your company or just the name, the type of?
Reformer Pilates is the type of machine and the type of.
Jane will know all about it.
Yeah.
I haven't a clue.
And my company's Flex and Reset Pilates. I don't like saying the word Pilates. I can't say it without sounding like a knob jock. Pilates. It just Pilates.
What does the word come from? Is it Greek?
Joseph Pilates was the man that actually created the movement, and he was a boxer, but he was a very sickly man. He was originally from Germany, but he escaped to America when the Nazis were trying to recruit him to train all of their soldiers. And so he fled the country, went to New York, and used to work with lots of ballet dancers and help them with their movement and rehab. And he was a boxer as well, so he used to help himself get stronger. And it's all about your spine and taking your spine through all the planes of motion. It's quite mechanical, but for the body. So it's biomechanical studies. It's fascinating. It's really good, because I came to it because I slipped a disc in my back.
Oh, did you? Is it okay now?
Yeah, I had surgery, but I did like lots of Reformer Pilates throughout. And it's all about, because you don't really think about what your spine's doing when you move and how you stabilise your body and what muscles you use and where parts of the body takes the strain. And often, like, it's the lower back, because maybe the abs are lazy, the glutes are lazy, there might be issues with muscles in the hips because there's so many of them. There's loads of stuff. And people's bodies get into, like, I don't want to say lazy, but the body uses the path of least resistance. So it does efficient movement patterns that might not necessarily be the best thing for the body's longevity.
You have to re-educate your body.
Yeah, you do. You have to try and, like, rewire muscle patterns, basically.
Well, Jane loves it all. I
good.
do yoga. My brother-in-law teaches yoga.
Oh, amazing!
So,
Yoga's good.
Yoga's good. Yeah.
It's exercise, isn't it? Exercise is always good.
But talking about vapour and mould.
Yeah.
Your bathroom extractor fan should last for half an hour. And it's just gone off. But I think this is going to be one of the sources of your problems, and I think the kitchen. What do you do for drying clothes when it's wet and raining?
Dryer.
Okay.
And it's got the thing that collects the water that we then empty in the sink.
Just so that's a condenser dryer, but condenser dryers are brilliant at removing vapour. You often have a sort of vapour around the outside. I'll have a look at it.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a dehumidifier?
I have one downstairs.
One in the lounge.
I have one in the lounge, but that's because there was dampness on the windows.
I'll have a look at that. But what's your timing for putting it on the market? Is it imminent or?
Yeah, we were thinking quite soon, weren't we?
So, I'm going to go through lots of suggestions, but one of the things I would do is get yourselves a 20-litre dehumidifier and run it 24/7.
Right.
And target the source of vapour, which is bathrooms, kitchens, drying clothes, and to obviously a lesser extent, respiration. Not much we can do about that, but just appreciating.
Stop breathing.
Stop breathing.
Can we do that?
Get a good fan.
Okay.
To dry walls out, because the drying process takes 6 to 9 months.
Wow. So when you say get a good fan, just get a fan and hold it on the walls?
Well, no, not really. Get one of those 2 feet ones.
Industrial fans. You're going to write this list, aren't you? What time is it? Because I don't want to be late.
Yeah, we'll get it all written.
Yeah, I've got to go because I don't want to miss my train, because then I'm going to be late to teach and I'm going to get fired.
Yeah. You get fired, you know that.
Thank you.
Okay, Simon.
Thanks, Simon.
So I didn't catch your name.
Alex.
Alex. Oh yeah, I did catch it actually. Yeah. Okay,
Thanks
take care, Alex. Bye. Have fun. Good luck.
Just a step ladder, all right?
Yeah, it'd be fine. I mean, I can see a lot already. In truth, all these cracks here. But you've got render cracks. Do you see all those cracks there?
Yeah.
So the render will expand and contract with the sun heat. and once you've got a crack, water will run into the crack and into the material inside, and that's why it's brown on the inside. Paint, I mean the paint isn't really hiding it at all, but what semi-permeable paint will do is it will hide the... Well, actually it'd be interesting to know whether you've got a lime type mortar. Do you know what the mortar is? I think it may be lime actually, in which case it is already I can't see. It's probably... Is it brick behind there? Yeah, I assume it is. It's probably a lime-based mortar. Bye. It's probably a lime-based render, which should be painted with a breathable paint, essentially. Right. And I think what's happened is you've got a semi-breathable or impermeable paint on top,
right.
And that basically water is getting in behind, and it's not coming. Yeah, well, I mean, there are two different things really. There's this wall where you've got lots of brown staining, and then this. When did the brown staining start? When did it start?
I think it's always been there.
Was it when you bought?
I don't know.
You would have remembered if it. Have you got a survey when you bought?
I think we did, but I don't remember.
So this is somebody's put a coating on here. So this is it's a sort of modern man-made coating that's gone on top of the old wall, and so basically rain comes down here, it gets in through the gap in there, it can't evaporate out, so it goes inside, and you've got that in different patches there. Once it's once you've got this coating, I mean, the ideal thing is to remove it, but that's a lot of time, money, and cost. And these probably aren't going to help your case.
Yeah. Especially if they're rotten, as you can see, that
Yeah.
one there is definitely.
The extractor fan isn't going out, it's just recycling air. So just to say, your extractor fan isn't going up, it's just recycling air. So it's not removing any vapour. Unfortunately, a lot of builders ignore building regs, which is why we have Grenfell Tower. And so that if it was built since 2012, it wouldn't have conformed with planning or building regs. So you got the same mould in here as well. And that's because it is cold here with poor insulation through the roof. And you've got the vapour from drying. Won't be a huge amount, but the other thing is that you're going to be opening up to the warm, humid interior, so it's always going to be at risk. But yeah, you can use HG anti-mold spray and dry it out. I'd use a dehumidifier generally in the property. Properties are sold in the summer, and this is one of them.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story about Titanic if you want.
Yeah,
The my namesake was steering it when it went down.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's can I have a look out the window?
Yeah. Well, you can try. It doesn't open very well.
That's right, I can do it like this. Just to say, this bathroom doesn't have an extractor fan and the windows aren't opened and the door is left open. So even though this doesn't have mold and condensation in here, it will be one of the key sources of vapour. Roughly half a litre per person per shower comes from the bathroom. It's one of the 4 primary sources. Cooking is the other one. We can talk more about that in a sec. Keep the window open if you can. Yes, you can. And door closed. It's nice and hot in the bathroom, but what will happen is that the water will evaporate out, and if we don't have sufficient ventilation or the bathroom door is left open, then it will diffuse around the property. So it should, the second number there should show 15, as in 15 metres a second. It's going about half the rate it should be. So I'll see if I can improve it and increase the overrun to 30 minutes. So can I just put it down? And we'll just, for sake of speed, we'll call one logger, oh, no, I'll just call it 1. Okay, to calibrate, you do these, and I'll send you some numbers to calibrate it. Oh, it's already calibrated. Oh, did I do it before? Oh no, that's probably, that's right, that's fine. So what I'll get you to do is just, if you can send them all 4 to me, I'll work it out. But yeah, it probably is that one and the bottom one. But I can tell from when I see the data. So if you can just press the 2 number or the green number, just press the green number. Yeah, that's synchronizing. Yeah, so that's this data logger because it would take longer. We don't need to go the whole way with that. Let's do this one now. Just press that green number. Yeah, so that's quick. So press the X there, and then press the calculator sign, and then export sign. Export CSV. And then allow limited, okay. And then send it with whichever email address. And then simon@dapsurveys.com. There you go, top one. And then send it. That's good. So, and then press back, number of times. So you're going to be doing it with the 2 active ones. Mm-hmm. To work out which is which, what you do. So we'll call this. We'll give it a name, and we'll call it kitchen, just for sake of argument, and then because they haven't been cited before, just put that one there maybe, and put the other one in the bathroom.
Right.
If I do the bathroom,
the ensuite or the other one?
Either, whichever you want really. I mean, probably the ensuite. Right, and then and then that dew point is the key number to look out for. To tell which is which, you press the logger and then find the name and then find it and then find its success, and you'll see that it's that red line there.
Right, got it, yeah.
So you can work out which is which from there and then put them in the right place. So that one, I'll write a B on that one so you'll know.
Okay.
And just to find it, and then I'm pretty much done with it. Is it, if you're looking upside down? Yeah, so that one's the kitchen. So
should we remove the other two?
So we can remove the other two. Good point. If I think it's just oh, I know where it is. This name, find it. Oh, there you go. And then so the kitchen's the one standing up. I'll just put a K on it and a B on there. Okay, and I'll take note of what the temperature is on there. Perfect, thanks. So we're going to take this off. I see. It's full of dust, which I think is half the problem. There you go, there's the timer. You just need to turn it clockwise. And they should be set that way, but they're not. And I'm just going to clean this up. You can see how dusty it is. Oh, you can use this. That can be used for the timer. I just take this off and so it's got backflow shutters that could be blocking it, so I'll make sure that they're not. So as a final thought, you have two issues. Excess internal vapour, which is what's causing the mould and in places condensation, and you have penetrating damp on the outside. You don't have rising damp and never did have. The damp proofing treatment actually exacerbates the effects of excess vapour. The penetrating damp essentially appears to come from an incorrect surface coating on the render. The render is likely to be a lime render and it should have a breathable coating on top. It's up to you how you want to treat it. I can see some people painting over with an impermeable coat, but that just kicks the can down the road and doesn't allow the wall to breathe. In terms of the kitchen mould, which was the key thing that you wanted me to look at, you need to deal with the internal vapour levels because the kitchen extractor fan wasn't blowing air out, it's just recycling air. Bathroom, one of the rooms wasn't being vented out, the other room had a short overrun and a slow speed. I increased the speed by twice and doubled it and increased the overrun from about 1 minute to 30 minutes. Also, be sure not to dry close internally, at least not without a dehumidifier. In fact, I would run a dehumidifier 24/7 and fans and possibly even a couple of dehumidifiers, 20 litre plus dehumidifiers. I would be thinking about insulation, things like thermal lining paper would solve the problem, rock wool as an example. I'll put more details in with this email and with the final video.